She quickly puts Abby in her place when she makes a ridiculous statement.
Is it that suddenly all Somali Americans don't deserve to be here because of individuals who committed crimes? Why not this guy who Trump just let off scot-free?
He's saying that we all agree that the fraud story in Minnesota is bad, and yet the topic we're discussing is not the fraud scandal. It's Donald Trump talking about
the governor who swept it under the rug.
This is why he won in 2016, and it's why he won in 2024, because instead of talking about the outrageous situation in which immigrants who are given the greatest privilege on earth, American citizenship, turned around and stole from the American people, we're talking about how Donald Trump talks about that is his superpower.
She quickly puts Abby in her place when she makes a ridiculous statement.
Is it that suddenly all Somali Americans
Shermichael gave a reality check to this liberal panelist when she criticized Pete Hegseth.
And I think the bellicose and braggadocious narrative and rhetoric you're hearing from him, that's what happens when you pick an unqualified weekend Fox News host to be Secretary of Defense.
Can I just make one point of objection to what Anna just said? You know, in politics, sometimes we make flippant remarks. If we could go back and do it over, we would. Pete Hegseth has served this country honorably, a tour in Afghanistan, a tour in Iraq. I never put on the uniform, but I certainly have a lot of damn respect for the people who do. He led his troops for about a year as a leader. Many of the generals and individuals who gave him a Bronze Star wrote admirably about his leadership position. So I don't think that this is someone who doesn't recognize the importance of war, the toll it takes on families, and that you might indeed pay the ultimate price. And so I think we shouldn't forget that. We may dislike him. You may not like the comment that he made, and we could critique. Maybe it wasn't the right way to word it.
I mean, she was
but this is someone who knows war more than anybody at this table that I'm familiar with, and we should keep that in mind.
Chair Mike.
They couldn't stop Jason's fact-based point, even after cutting him off.
2 days ago, yesterday, this morning, I was told we were not at war. Today in the press conference, Pete Hegseth says, end the war. Are we at war? Are we not at war? Do we want regime change or do we not?
The president told the Iranian people in his very first remarks on this, he said, now is the time to rise up and take over your country. Look, it's not a question. I mean, look, we can debate whether regime change is good or bad, but it seems very clear that the president signaled from the outset that his hope was that there would be regime change. And then he signaled again today that not only was he okay with some kind of change, but he wanted to be the person.
So that is different than calling for regime change war. Wanting the regime to change, I think every normal person in this country and around the globe understands that the people in charge right now are evil, murderous, and they've been ruling this country with oppression.
So can you just take them out?
Let's go back.
Lawyer from Louisiana just dismantle Adam Schiff's entire political legacy using nothing but a cold cup of coffee and a battered yard sale binder? Senator, where I come from, we have a specific word for that. We call it lying. The massive hearing room completely erupted. The chairman's heavy wooden gavel came crashing down. Adam Schiff, the immensely powerful former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, the lead impeachment manager, and the man who had spent 6 long years looking into television cameras, promising the American public that he possessed hard evidence of the greatest political conspiracy in presidential history, sat exactly 12 feet away from a junior senator from Louisiana. That senator was holding a cup of cold coffee and a worn leather binder. And for the very first time in his meticulously crafted political career, Adam Schiff had absolutely no answer. The Senate Judiciary Committee hearing room smelled strongly of floor polish and raw ambition, 2 distinct substances that in Washington, D.C. are very often completely indistinguishable. It was 9:47 on a crisp Tuesday morning, and the grand chamber was already packed to total capacity. The network television cameras had been securely locked into position since 7 o'clock. The press gallery was standing room only. I honestly feel like I know you pretty well. The entire room was absolute, highly responsible counter-narrative. The one they confidently said proved the FBI had done.
Suit alleges him knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and/or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest prosecutions.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, you know, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life.
Imagine discussing ethics every morning on national television. You give the system a finger shake. The powerful are called out. You portray yourself as the nation's moral leader. Now picture this. Along with over 200 other defendants, your spouses suddenly charged with aiding in the operation of a $450 million insurance fraud scam. A portion of what is regarded as the biggest RICO lawsuit in New York history.
If you average out the viewing hosts among the dumbest people on television, and it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. So they expose, and what she just said just doesn't make any sense.
It's just like so silly to say. It's not a wealth thing, because I think Sunny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured, right? You know, that's, I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, they don't have to name any names, she's very dull-minded, but I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's smart, but the irony couldn't be
more cute. And who makes the call? Not the network, not her fellow hosts. In a furious monologue that people were still discussing weeks later, Joe Rogan calmly dissects Sunny Hostin's entire public persona while sipping mushroom tea in his studio. Today, we're dissecting how Rogan transformed his moral superiority into pure comedic rubble and discussing the potential consequences for his program, reputation, and the ongoing legal struggle.
husband's doing something. If he's apparently doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been for years lecturing America about morality and equality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times did she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and give a nice apology for all this stuff she said on the show? And then she also, on Trump's win, called it the loss because of uneducated white women that Trump, we have to know that this is all accused, but he's in the rich, yeah.
A case that her husband in a lawsuit unexpectedly surfaced just before the holidays. It alleges that Sunny's husband, Manuel, took payments in exchange for knowingly building the insurance companies of taxi Lyft drivers for arthroscopic procedures they purely did not require. According to court records that Page Six was able to get, the case involves defending in what the prosecution called a $50 million racking and corruption plot. Also,
I don't love you, but I also that Swingbird, so I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show you want to talk about, a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show. If the CIA is engineering, and fucking the Capo ride, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse in The View in terms of like, there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of what is it? The Y chromosome one. No do. They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's rough.
For that one, correct the XX? It's hard. According to reports, the 1974 insurance system in New York was exploited by these feudal claims. It is said that minor ailments were transformed into high-print operations, with insurers and ultimately regular consumers left to foot the bill. Sunny's legal team swiftly retaliated despite the significant RICO claims. Her lawyer described the case as wholly base, claiming it was a last-ditch effort by a financially troubled insurance company to put pressure on physicians and restrict medical benefits.
The most important part, this is right after she was saying we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News. and then making the stupidest fucking statements. Like you didn't listen to what I said. You didn't listen to what the wildlife, and that's only a part of what he said. The other part of what he said was there was something before that where he was explaining encounters with giant reptiles. Also, listen, it doesn't make sense to me that a middle-aged woman could be dumb. When you're worried about losing your job and you're worried about podcasts taking over and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump is Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us and he won, and this is fucking, and Joe Rogg believes in Jagan.
However, powerful rebuttals don't always eliminate eye-catching headlines in a court battle where innocent until proven guilty clashes with public opinion. It's not easy to write off your spouse's involvement in one of the biggest white-collar cases in the state's history as a simple paperwork error. A new kind of confrontation is taking place somewhere else while Dr. Hostin fights these allegations in courts.
Fairness, though, I mean, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts among the dumbest people on television. And it's like, they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth.
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny, I think she's ideologically driven and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sony's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person, and what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and you it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it.
With the assurance of a Supreme Court justice, Sunny Hostin has sat on what many considered to be the righteous throne of the Vision for years, dismantling systemic failures, cancel culture, and inequity. While denouncing others for disseminating false information, she frequently urged viewers to believe double-checked ABC News reporting. Then, however, the focus switched closer to home. The difference is striking when your personal life abruptly collides with federal claims, while your public brand is based on cool-headed, tea-drinking morality and meticulous analysis. And that kind of event may be quite damaging in the court of public opinion, in the court.
Co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Houston, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer-influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and quoted getting kickbacks for performing surgery and building a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
Every handling ethical lesson now seems a touch hollow. Viewers start to pose a difficult question. How could she have missed what is being described as one of the largest financial catastrophes in recent New York history if her judgment is so acute? Her co-hosts might be expected to circle the wagons, but then there was stillness. The View became strangely quiet for a program that relied on strong opinions and dramatic headlines. We respect everyone's privacy, Whoopi Goldberg merely stated. Joy Behar rolled her well-known eyes and said nothing about the controversy.
The problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in, and they always bring on a token conservative woman. They yell over her and silence her, and did that with Megan MC, and they did that with, what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. It's a bizarre show. I think the way you described it is brilliant, and the way we should all look at it. Of course you're going to see race. The idea of being colorblind is ridiculous, but treating everybody, they're just human beings.
Everybody's just as if the entire subject had been put under a stringent do not disturb restriction. The audience's clapping began at precisely the appropriate moment to almost if someone had pressed a button. It was like a damage control lesson. Avoid bringing up the controversy. Keep grinding. Act as if nothing had occurred, hoping that nobody will notice that the moral high ground has fallen into a financial abyss. However, it doesn't seem strong to remain silent when a co-host husband is accused of severe RICO. It appears anxious, like a neon sign that flashes and says, "We don't want to be next." And that kind of dread can cause more harm in daytime television than just talking about the problem.
That people love to hate. Yes, true. They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabbit-infested hen-housed molehouse, not really their audience. Not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows, or, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. People, services, and shows really, really popular, you know, like Letterman or something like that. Obviously, it has its own fan base. Those people will try to get tickets before anyone else does. And in that case, they probably don't need to use the service anymore. And they just get current fans. But arguably, like, the fans, the real fans of The View, that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave.
One individual, in contrast to The View, spoke up. Joe Rogan didn't waste any time on his popular Spotify show. He made fun of Sunny Hostin for giving ethics lectures while her husband was allegedly involved in a $0.0 million scam. Rogan made fun of her trust us, not Joe Rogan mentality, and emphasized the irony of moral lectures coming from someone connected to an alleged fraud case. Rogan, who is well known for his quick, unvarnished style, without network attorneys vetting every word, turned what could have been a minor rumor into a viral moment that undermined Hostin's authority and strengthened his standing as a critique of elite hypocrisy.
And husband's son is accused in December lawsuit fraud. By this, a Daily Caller story I'm reading, the lawsuit outlay is Han knowingly provided fraud medical and other health care services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow's attorney Daniel Twice denies the allegations, calling the laws a meritless attempt by a near bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict health benefits. The case involves claims that Han's unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments with American. Transit siding. New York's 1974 no-fault laws contributing to wire spread.
The stakes are serious, though, and this isn't just about punchlines or internet clicks. Declaring this to be a $450 million RICO scheme might result in severe legal scrutiny, including blocked assets and potential spouse-related civil lawsuits. Sunny may be subject to asset seizures, hefty fines, or possibly bankruptcy if prosecutors or insurers are even partially successful. Joint accounts, shared residences, and opulent possessions may be included in the case due to merit property regulations. Personal finances, including credit cards, spending patterns, and personal information, may potentially be made public during bankruptcy proceedings. Such disclosure could be extremely detrimental to someone whose work depends on maintaining a polished public persona.
Goldberg said, what did she say? Mueller said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, do you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it. It's so, The View
has frequently come under fire for its stealth, reinforcing bubble, tokenism, and bringing on a conservative guest only to debate with them. Now that the bubble has popped, viewers are wondering what else they are missing if they can't even spot fraud occurring in their own living room. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan's fan base only gets bigger each time the mainstream is taken by surprise.
Always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them. All right. So when you said this is the largest RICO case filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case.
I'm my lawyer. Get off me, psycho! I didn't do anything! You're making me a criminal.
On October 16th, 2022, an officer patrolling the quiet streets at 3 a.m. noticed a vehicle driving erratically with a headlight out. Without hesitation, the officer initiated a traffic stop to investigate further.
Hello?
Hi, can you not? Oh, Officer Lamping, I'm sure. Okay, I'm gonna get my phone out and record this right now. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, you have your license, registration, proof of insurance on you?
I sure do.
Okay.
Just like always. Fucking asshole.
Okay.
Ridiculous. So, let me do this.
You're being
So
recorded
I'm being
already.
pulled over by Officer Lamping right now.
You have your
Officer
license.
Lamping.
You have your license,
Yeah,
registration, proof of
why am I getting pulled over?
There's one headlight and you're driving recklessly.
One headlight. Let me get out and check that.
No, you're not going to get out. You have your license, registration, proof of insurance.
All right, hold
please.
on 1 second. 1 second. Let me get this on a good shot of you. Good shot
Good
of you.
start.
Okay. Okay, let me get out and see.
Do not.
Hey, you're setting on my foot, you psycho! Get on my foot! What the f is wrong with you? Get off my f***ing door, you psycho! Oh, you're f***ing sued, bitch. You're done. You're f***ing done.
Get your license, registration.
Die, f***ing you!
Okay.
Is there a reason you pulled me? Wait, hold on. Let me do this on computer.
Okay, I already told you that.
No. You already told me what? What did you already tell me?
Reckless driving.
Reckless driving how?
Do you have your license, registration, proof of insurance?
What did I do?
You have one headlight.
What did I do?
You have one headlight.
One headlight means reckless driving?
No. You went
So
off
what
the
is
side.
reckless driving, honey?
You went off the side of the road.
No, that's a lie.
Okay.
So you're pulling me over for
Do
one
you have?
headlight.
Do you have your license?
You're
on
pulling
you?
me over for one headlight, right?
No, and you're reckless driving. Do you
You're
have
pulling me
do you
over for one
have-
headlight or for reckless driving? Which one?
Do you have your license on you?
I'm asking you what you're pulling me over for. What did I do wrong?
I already told you.
Reckless driving how?
Yeah.
Explain.
Do you have your license?
I'm asking you to explain why I'm being pulled over.
have your
No,
driver's
listen. I already went through this whole court procedure because it's you lamping, honey. So you can go ahead and tell me why.
I already
Why I'm
explained
being
it to
pulled
you.
over. Reckless driving.
I have
Reckless driving.
already explained it
I'm
to you.
saving this.
Go ahead.
So reckless driving for what?
You're being recorded also. So
For
do you
what?
Have, do you have your license?
I'm being. What
do you
was
have
reckless?
your license?
Can you tell me what was reckless?
When you went to turn on the
What
Lincoln,
was
you almost
reckless?
ran off the side of the road.
Say that again?
Do you have your license?
Why did I get pulled over?
Do you have your driver's license?
Why did I get pulled over? I'm asking you one time. Why did I get pulled over?
Again, I told you already. Do you have your license on you?
Once again, you told me already, do I have my license? That's a question, not a statement, honey. I'm asking you why I got pulled
Your
over.
driver's license.
I'm asking you why I got pulled over.
I've told you 3 times. I've told you 3 times.
Tell me again.
Reckless driving.
Reckless driving how?
I told you.
How? You didn't tell me. I have it recorded, honey. You didn't tell me. I have it recorded. I have literally every single statement that you said recorded. You didn't tell
We're
me.
gonna go ahead and get her out.
You didn't tell me.
She already.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, she already hit me once.
Every single statement that you
Yeah.
said recorded.
Yeah.
So what are you pulling me over for? Reckless driving why?
Step out.
Reckless driving why?
Step out. Let us go, okay?
No, absolutely not. You're gonna shut the door.
Step out. You're gonna get out of the car.
Okay, and you're gonna do what?
You're gonna turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not getting cuffed. I didn't do anything.
your hands behind your
Okay,
back.
I'm calling my lawyer. Get off me, psycho! Get off me! I'm reporting it.
So are we.
I'm a really good attorney. What are you doing?
Got her arm? I got it one arm.
Why though? Why are you doing this? Why? What did I do?
Got it.
No, I'm 100% compliant. I'm 100% compliant. 100%.
Thank you.
I will not hurt you.
Thank you.
I will not do anything. I will do exactly what you tell me to do. I did not do anything wrong.
You didn't give me an opportunity to talk to you.
Okay. Well, I didn't have that opportunity, honey.
You didn't.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm asking a simple question. Why did I get pulled over? And he's saying
Reckless driving.
Reckless driving. Why?
And you're
though?
on a headlight.
What did I do though with reckless
You've almost
driving?
hit the curb coming down Midlothian.
I almost hit that
a couple times. You went to turn right on the
I have
Lincoln.
it all recorded, honey, and I have a good attorney, so it's
Okay.
great.
You went to turn
It's
right.
great.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Come on, what? What am I doing now? What am I doing now? No. Stop it! Stop!
Would you calm down?
Get out of me! Get out of me! Stop! I didn't do anything! I didn't fucking do anything!
Have a seat.
I didn't fucking do anything!
Have a seat.
No! I didn't do anything!
Have a
You're
seat.
hurting me! You're making me
Sit down.
bleed for no fucking reason!
Sit down.
Why?
Because you're under arrest.
What? I am sorry for whatever I did, and I will pay to get it right, okay? I will pay to get it right. I don't know what I did wrong. I have no idea what I did wrong. Your camera will show it.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your inconvenience.
Shady Run. We're going to need fire there. From here.
I really
Going southbound on Shady Run towards Midlothian.
fine. You want me to pay? I'll do whatever you want me to do. You can tow my car. I'll walk home. I'm literally on my street. I don't know what your problem with me is, but it's and it's known. It's known to the public. So this is going to be a fucking public news thing. Promise. So what's going to happen?
Well, right now you're going to be issued a citation.
A citation for what?
Driving under
But
suspension.
I'm not suspended. I have insurance.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. That's why I'm suspended. It's because they don't have proof of insurance, but I have insurance. So why did you pull me over? Hello? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Am I just waiting for you to pretend to do your job? Can we shut my car off? What the fuck is happening? Why are you leaving my car on? Hello? Shut my fucking car off, you dumbass! Shut my fucking car off now! Right now!
Miranda, stop it. He's stopping right here on Market Street.
Help! He's doing it! Help!
Oh, yeah.
Please help! Please help!
Miranda?
Please help!
Yeah. Miranda.
Please help!
Miranda.
He has an issue with me. Please help me.
Okay,
he
Miranda.
should not be dealing with me, and I'm going to make sure
Listen.
from now on that he can't. You need to help me. You should be in charge, not him. You, not lamping.
Okay.
And this is an automatic thing. This douchebag has been in my DMs for the last 10 years. I need you to be in charge. You.
All right. Well, listen to me.
This unprofessional stuff.
Will you listen to
He
me?
just got a DUI from a fucking highway patrol, and he's gonna give me one? Are you kidding?
Will you listen to me?
Are you fucking
Miranda.
This is unbelievable. I didn't
Believe what happened today at Jesse Jackson's funeral. I was just getting ready to lay down. Been up since about 5 this morning, and got my work done, and came across my feed clips from the funeral. And Obama spoke. They had the radical preacher from Atlanta, Jamal Jeffrey. I can forget his last name. Jamal Bryant, and who is a guy that's cheated on his wife. Like I said, just a clown show. And they literally turned this funeral after the son requested for it to remain respectful and honoring his dad. The Democrats turned it into a political rally. And at that rally, Obama also spoke, but they gave Joe Biden the mic. And Joe Biden just literally single-handedly caused the biggest fleeing of the Democrat Party from Black Americans you will ever see in the history of the world. I'm talking about even after the Emancipation Proclamation, probably, because the things that he said, the disrespect that he gave the crowd, and as the clips are going viral, people are blasting Joe Biden. And so I want to show you those clips because we're going to start it off with the biggest lie that he told, and that's about the Supreme Court justices and the first Black Supreme Court justice. Listen to the bold-faced lie Joe Biden tells.
I appoint the first Black justice to the Supreme Court, and the Foreign Relations Committee. The real benefit of that was
So you'd still like to serve on the Supreme Court? I'd rather die than withdraw from the process. Not for the purpose of serving on the Supreme Court, but for the purpose of not being driven out of this process. I would not be scared. I don't like bullies. I've never run from bullies. I never cry uncle, and I'm not going to cry uncle today, whether I want to be on the Supreme Court or not.
I appoint the first Black justices.
You heard Joe Biden say that he appointed the first Black Supreme Court justice. That's a lie. Right? And he couldn't have did more than the opposite. As a matter of fact, Joe Biden tried to bully and get Clarence Thomas out of pursuing being a Supreme Court justice. As a matter of fact, I've got two clips that I want to show you because what these clips are doing going viral now, because people have only been sold, especially Black people, let me tell you, the way Clarence Thomas is sold to the Black community, especially the inner city, is sell out, Uncle Tom, da-da-da, right? And the Democrats control that media. And so the only picture that they've ever had has been a Democrat picture. So they don't go look him up and research or anything like that at all. As a matter of fact, for a lot of people, the very first time they're ever going to hear Clarence Thomas speak is going to be in that clip. And they're going to see somebody that's strong, that's confident, and anybody that's a Democrat that's flipped to conservative, I don't care what color they are, especially Black people that are Republicans, that are MAGA specifically, they completely see it and they know exactly what it is that was happening, except it was on steroids back then because it was so few public Black Republicans and the Democrats' control was so buried, the average person would have had no idea. Matter of fact, it might have killed them if they knew then what we know now, if that makes sense. So let's look at Joe Biden, who did the absolute opposite. He tried to bully this man. He was disrespectful. Check out these two clips. And this is why I say he single-handedly just sunk the Democrat Party because he's going to cause people to go back and look and research. And for the record, Thurgood Marshall in 1967 was the very first Black Supreme Court justice. Clarence Thomas was the next. And look at Joe Biden's performance in this. I appreciate you for watching this. Check this out.
Good morning, Judge. Welcome to the blinding lights. Finding out what you mean when you say that you would apply the natural law philosophy to the Constitution is, in my view, the single most important task of this committee.
Senator Biden was very focused on natural law. How did that go?
Who knows? I have no idea what he was talking about.
I just want to make sure we all know what we're talking about here, that you and I know at least what we're talking about here. There's a fervent and aggressive school of thought that wishes to see natural law further inform the Constitution than it does now, argued against by the positivist led by Judge Bork. Now, again, that may be lost on all the people. You know and I know what we're talking about.
I have to be perfectly honest with you. You sit there and you have no idea what they are talking about. All I know is that he was asking me these questions about natural law.
Someone may apply it in a way, like Moore, who leads him in a direction that is, quote, liberal. You may apply it in a way that leads you in a direction that's conservative. Or you may, like many argue, not apply it at all. But it is a fundamental question that is going to be almost impossible for non-lawyers to grasp in an exchange. But you know and I know it is a big, big deal. And in conclusion,
one of the things you do in hearings is you have to sit there and look attentively at people you know have no idea what they're talking about. Now, check out this next clip, because in this one, this is where there's an FBI report that clears Judge Thomas. Matter of fact, gives a recommendation for Judge Thomas for the Supreme Court. Listen to what Joe Biden says about this recommendation from the FBI. Check this out. And Democrats have tricked people in believing they're a party for the people of color. No, they're not. They literally despise it. They've never changed. They still the party of Jim Crow, the KKK. It never changed. And Republicans have and always will be the party for the people.
And the last thing I'll point out, the next person that refers to an FBI report as being worth anything obviously doesn't understand anything.
Now, if you're enjoying this video, do me a solid and hit that thumbs up, because I'll never ask you for a cash app, a super chat, or even a donation. But you hitting that like button, it really does help the channel get the video out there. And if you aren't subscribed already, subscribe. And when you do, please make sure that you hit the notification bell and then select where it says all. That way, YouTube will make sure that you get notified whenever I upload new videos.
FBI explicitly does not, in this or any other case, reach a conclusion. Period. So, Judge, there's no reason why you should know this. The reason why we cannot rely on the FBI report, you wouldn't like it if we did, because it is inconclusive. They say he said, she said, and they said, period. So when people wave an FBI report before you, understand, they do not reach conclusions. They do not make, as my friend points out more adequate, they do not make recommendations. So, Judge, and the last thing,
that's a mean man. You can see it. Now, it gets worse, okay? So here, Joe Biden, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. That was Clinton. Now, in this scene, Joe Biden is going to be the most honest that he probably has been with the American people in, probably his whole career. And I want you to listen to what he says, but listen to it in a form of doublespeak and ask yourself, what audience is he really speaking to? Is it the Americans as a whole, or is it to a select small group? But just listen to the words. Check this out.
Because in bad times like now, we're in a tough spot, folks. We got an administration that doesn't share any of the values that we have. And I don't think I'm exaggerating a little bit. Because in bad times like now.
What do you think? Is that message for the macro or for the micro? I believe it's for the micro. Now here, he decides that he's going to disrespect black people to the fullest right here. This is where Joe Biden tells an entire room, audience of black people, that he's smarter than most of them. Not joking around. Check this out.
If I told you all earlier, when I was a kid, I had a cleft palate or club foot, none of you would have laughed. But it's okay to laugh at stuttering. I'm not being critical of you, but think about it. It's the one place where people think you're stupid. Oh, really? I'm a hell of a lot smarter than most of you. But all kidding aside.
That's a rule. Oh, my goodness. Now, I'm going to wrap it up and let you listen to Barry. Now, Barry's delivery is extremely funny. But again, they took a funeral that's supposed to be to honor the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and with all due respect, him passing away, respect due to his family, just as a human being and as a person, fine. But when you know the reality, the real deal, you understand that Jesse Jackson was a man, and that I believe that the accomplishments were sold that were the selling of the product was far greater than the actual product itself. Because I'm unable to tell you one piece of legislation or anything that has been done by Reverend Jesse Jackson that has benefited the black community. Can you? I mean, if somebody can, please let me know. I believe that he was always sent in like Al Sharpton to calm black people down. I believe corporations would pay him to say, hey, they about to get excited. They about to tear things up. They about to boycott us. He'd go in, give a hardcore speech and say, I am somebody. Everybody feels so good. And they go home proud that they said that they are somebody. But guess what they're not doing? They're not boycotting anymore. They're not picketing anymore. Look at all the times Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson got involved. On the heels of all of the stuff that's taking place in the country right now, seniors, it's extremely important that you make sure you've got the best Medicare plan available, because this year, Medicare plans are expected to increase 10%. And that's 250.
Reviewed a Board of Commissioners meeting that took place right here in Fulton County, led by the chairman, Rob Pitts. And there was an interesting case here where Rob Pitts basically came up with his own plan, his own 5-point plan to change the overcrowding of the Fulton County Jail, specifically Rice Street, which we've covered here on the channel at length and ad nauseum, especially considering the light that was shined on the issue, or shown, on the issues in Rice Street Prison during the YSL trial. So now Rob Pitts comes up with this brilliant idea of how we can make changes in the Fulton County Jail. The points sound amazing, but during the meeting, the sheriff of Fulton County gets up there and said, no one told me about this plan. It sounds good, I guess, but I didn't know anything about it. Now, many of you know how I feel about this topic, and specifically about Pat Labat when it comes to how things are being handled in the Fulton County Jail situation. Already had to get the DOJ involved. They made him and forced him come up with a plan of how he was going to make improvements in the jail. We haven't seen or heard of that. The deadline's well past, so I would assume that he's working the Department of Justice on this. Now we're going to hear from Patrick Labat about how he felt when the chairman of the Board of Commissioners came out with this 5-point plan, which he had no idea existed. Check this out from Atlanta News First.
Well, tonight, the Fulton County Sheriff sounding off with pointed words for county leaders after a new plan was passed to reduce the jail population.
And Sheriff Pat Labat told Atlanta News First senior reporter Patrick Quinn that he was kept in the dark about this plan.
Poor guy.
We have to quit the political grandstanding and really, in earnest, try and help people in need.
A day after Fulton County passed a 5-point plan to reduce the overcrowding inside the Fulton County Jail, Sheriff Pat Labat, missioned to oversee the jail, said he was kept in the dark before the vote.
Nobody in my agency, no one in the sheriff's office knew what the 5-point plan was.
And he threw Rob Pitts under the bus too. He stepped up to the mic. He was talking to Mo Ivory. No, I believe he was talking to another board member. And he said, hey, listen, no one from my office. I haven't seen this plan. We don't know what's going on, but hey, I guess it sounds good. And even with all of that, the Board of Commissioners still passed and signed off on this plan, which is absolutely hilarious. I mean, Pat, if you didn't know, I can't blame you, but what are we doing now? Because we've already heard of situations right here in Fulton County where the jail, there were 70 plus people sleeping on the floor just over the past couple of weeks. 70. Not 7, not 7.5, 70 people. So again, what are we doing to work on that? Maybe we'll hear something from the sheriff here.
This 5-point plan calls to move more detainees to the diversion center, add more to the county ankle monitoring program, use text notifications to remind offenders of court appearances, drop the bond amounts, and extradite non-local offenders to their jurisdiction where they face charges. Right now, there are nearly 3,000 people in the county's custody, with 58 people sleeping on the ground at the jail due to overcrowding. Sheriff Labat said he's already doing 3 of the 5 points in this plan and called it a neutral step in addressing the long-standing crisis at the Fulton County Jail.
I think so many right now in Atlanta and across Fulton County are tired of being neutral.
I absolutely agree with you.
How do we get out of neutral?
Well, you got to trust the people that were elected to do their jobs. And so whether it be the clerk, right? Whether it be the actual Solicitor General, the DA, and certainly me.
What are we going to do with the next person that dies in the jail?
Fulton County Commissioner Khadija Abdur-Rahman, a co-sponsor of this plan, approved with a 4-3 margin, said it's time for the county to act. Since 2021, 32 people have died in the county's custody.
The time for talking is over.
Another commissioner, Marvin Arrington Jr., said Chairman Rob Pitts and others were playing politics in proposing this plan during an election year.
Or nor speaking to the sheriff. Out of order. I know, and you are too. You're out of order by not contacting the sheriff.
Sheriff Labat said
Dang, the fact that these people fight amongst each other is hilarious, but I get it, that's part of the deal. Listen, if we're going to pretend like politics isn't a part of this, I think that would be disingenuous. We know politics are a part of it, but there is a real problem and a real issue here. And if the plan has some solutions that will work, put in place. Who cares if it's about politics or not? Will it work? That's the question.
The outbursts and jabs between commissioners gets in the way of progress and truly addressing the jail crisis.
It does. And worse than getting in the way of progress, that type of theater encourages the county manager to not return my phone calls.
Is he not?
And so, no, he's absolutely not.
And now he's missioned with this 5-point
correct.
plan.
Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
All right, so we're actually going to get into the full interview that the sheriff did where he just talks about what's going on here in Fulton County, and maybe we'll get some insight there. in the next video. But for now, I thought this was an interesting point. One of the board members, Mo Ivory, actually went and bailed out some people who were sleeping on the floor in Rice Street. So we got to give her a round of applause for that. Very well done by her. Hopefully she did some research into what the charges were. But some of these people who are being held in Rice Street are there because they owe $85, less than $100, many even less than $1,000 on bond for non-violent crimes, trespassing, shoplifting, etc. And maybe some of them, they just don't have the money. Now, you could ask and could question, should they be released anyway? Or is it just that we need to update and get more room and have the facilities updated to house these people? Because again, what are the crimes? Are they repeat offenders? Those statistics we don't know, but we do know there's several things here that seem like they could be an easy fix, and Mo Ivory is actually acting on this. So check this story out from Fox 5 here in Atlanta.
A move by one lawmaker that has caused some social media attention, posting bail for 3 people there in the Fulton County Jail. What is behind Mo Ivory's intent here to do that? Angelique Proctor standing by live with the story behind the story. Angelique.
Well, good afternoon to you, Tom. Fulton County Commissioner Mo Ivory says that she bailed 3 defendants out of the Fulton County Jail because she is just tired of the overcrowding that has plagued this institution. She said she wanted to do something to make a difference, and she decided this was something that she could do. Well, she has taken to social media to post what she did on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat.